Hello, my name is Zhatelier, and welcome back for another episode of The Last Kingdom in Aurora. And in previous episode, well, first of all, the Hand of the King wanted their own corvette design. We hadn't actually built any yet. We did skip ahead a fair bit, well, about 6 months or so, I think, maybe? Somewhere around there anyway. But we now completed the power infantry armor, so that will allow us to get the boarding capability, I believe, once we... hold on. Well, first of all, I think we need to get the... boarding base, and then we can get the boarding capability for infantry. And that is something that, according to what I've heard, the Hand of the King will be using quite extensively. But we'll see how that goes. So far we haven't actually found any aliens yet, so... we'll probably, year 80 is probably where we will switch on the precursors and swarm then. Just to give a bit of excitement. But the system that we found over there, I'm not entirely sure who has showed that on camera. Probably not. Over there, there's a lot of asteroids. Mostly asteroids that have minerals. I mean, there is a couple planets in here, but none of them seem to be particularly interesting. They were, if I remember correctly, fairly small. Well, actually, there's a couple of terrestrial planets that have pretty high gravity, so there might be some minerals in there. Venusian atmospheres and those two, I mean, it's rather hot planets all around. So, yeah, not necessarily the best place to colonize, but it might be a good place to mine. So we'll see what we can find in here. But there's a lot of asteroids that have small-ish minerals. If we refresh this real quick, so we can see that there's a lot of asteroids that have a good selection of minerals, but just quantities are rather pathetic in comparison. But it's asteroids, you can't really expect too much from them. Right, the colony ship has completed order, so that should mean that Crescina Imperialis has now over 800,000 in total population. That's actually not too bad. Now, Caldera, you could have a little bit more population, not much though. There is a quite significant worker shortage still. Odin, you have gotten a bit more of the search forming station there, but not enough to actually start doing anything about that. But in due time, that will start. And over here, yeah, you're going to need a lot more population. The infrastructure per population is also, well, could be worse. Could certainly be worse. And we are still gonna have to wait for quite a while until we get our first maintenance facility in here. But once we start getting those, we can then bring, technically, once we even get one of them, we can bring in the ship in here to provide the planetary protection value, especially for Odin, because that seems to be a problem in the near future. Of course, in Viralis we got pretty good, well, actually, probably easy to check from here, so pretty good strength in total. We got 40 million in population here. We should probably get more in financial centers here at some point, just so that this can kind of provide a lot of minerals in there. Now, to be fair, they do produce a decent bit of trade goods. And actually, a little bit of infrastructure is available for exporting now. That's interesting. But yeah, the colony 1, Sayuri... Actually, how is St. Petersburg doing? We could have a little bit of population there, I suppose. Alright, so we'll send the Royal Colony ship to get started on... oh, hold on a minute. Clearly the mouse is doing something crazy here. I will fix it before the next episode. Right, Colony 1, you need to load colonist. Then I suppose I can auto-route to Claradia and then to Romova. And St. Petersburg, unload colonists, and then make your way back. Sparaguda, and then refuel from there. It does take a long while to get there, but at least it gets it started. So, you know, it's not all bad. Deployment time exceeded on the Hand of the King's second survey vessel. It is heading back though, so that should be alright. Now, we are running a bit low on fuel now. We got 33 million reserves. I mean, we have been using fuel quite a bit with the colonization efforts and all that, so that is to be expected. We are going to get our first, well, technically it's going to be belonging to the Gas Harvesters Guild, but that's the first Sorium Harvester is going to be done in, actually it's going to take about 6 more months yet. So yeah, that'll take some time, but eventually we should be getting that, nonetheless. That should help a fair bit. Now, we are running a bit low on some of the minerals already here, so we do need to be a bit careful. But there's not a huge amount of things that we can do to avoid that. Now, over here, the production is almost 1,000 tons per day. Because we are still bringing in more mines here, so there's that. But with the extra mining capacity over here, and with the construction factories, we can at least get started on building things in here. Not quickly, but start it nonetheless. And they do produce a little bit of worker taxes now. Quite insignificant amounts to be fair, but it is still something. And that will actually increase once they get more infrastructure and population in there. Planetite exceeded on the survey vessel and surveying. You are heading back home, I suppose. You surveyed a fair bit of the survey locations here, but did you go through the... You've gone through one of the gas giants, and one of the moons had Corbomite there. But that's about it, what we know from this system so far. What was completed on the... cargo 1 for the Romanovs. Right, and Hand of the King survey number 2 is currently not doing anything. Well, you should start your overhaul rather soon. Right, so the D1 cargo, or D cargo 1. So, what did you were transporting infrastructure, weren't you? Yeah, you were. Right, I suppose we can do that again for the time being. Oh, right, oh, that reminds me. I wanted to move in this thing there. There we go. So now if we do... Oh, right. Move that. Come on. Okay, so we need to load in more infrastructure. And then take that through block gun. Radia and into remover. And St. Petersburg, we're just gonna keep on unloading over there for the time being. And then go back to Colorado. Block gun, Barracuda. And refuel. Just making sure it's the... Oh, right, the different... Oh, no, actually they have the same speed. It's a bit different models, but nothing major should be in there. In the difference there. So cycle moves on that one. So we'll be able to bring in more infrastructure. We are going to run out of infrastructure at some point. We need to be a bit careful with that. Maintenance problem on the Royal Survey Vessel number 2. New scientist... Oh, logistics researcher, actually, okay. Slightly unexpected, I suppose. Commanders assigned... Yeah, yep. Some promotions by the looks of it. But the... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This survey vessel can't get out of here now because of the damage on the hold on. Damage control. The jump drive is broken. And there's nothing on this side. I believe... Is there anything on the loot gun side there? No, but there is this one. That is a military jump gate. Okay, right, so I think what we need to do... Actually, no, we can't do that. Crap. Well, crap. Okay, well that's a bit of a problem. We need to get some jump tenders over here to get to Zolgar to be able to bring in the jump tender, the military jump tenders over here. And we can't quite do that. Well, one thing that I can do, it's not going to save this, but it's at least going to give us a little bit of room to work with. So, Tug. Oh, you're actually a bit low on fuel. Why don't you refuel real quick? Then take one from the space stations. Tractor, for example, that one. Go to Blutgang. Silvigar, release tractor ships. Then, actually, we can do this. I'm not entirely sure if we have the time, though, before the ship breaks. But if we go back to Barracuda, we can go to Nagelring. And Mewing now has the jump gate, so we can tractor the gatekeeper from there. Go back through Barracuda to Blutgang. And Zulgar, we can release the tractor ships. Then we need to go back through, or back to Barracuda probably. Bring in another one of the smaller ones. So tractor, which one is probably the number 4 now. And then we could get through the Blutgang. And we can go through Zulvigar. And we can, I suppose, release the tractor ships there. Once we're done with that, we know that the other ship can transport, or transfer over. And if need be, we can use the tug to bring it all the way home. So that's quite an operation to rescue, but it's just a bad luck, really. Of course, the annual failure rates are a bit high on those survey vessels, so the longer they are out, the more likely they are going to have problems. Transit failure. Yes, I knew that would be a problem. Right, well, let's get rid of your standing orders, because you won't be able to act on those. Remove all orders. I'm just going to wait until, or in there until we got the jump gates transfer, and that is going to take a while. Although, let's actually have a look. The target, 180, okay, so it's going to take several months at least. Orders completed. Cargo 1 has completed. Oh, right, that brought in the construction factories. Actually, something that I suppose I could do is bring in more. Well, there's not enough population cap here yet. But we could bring in some manual mines over here at some point to keep some of the productions going. So over here they got 2 construction factories so far. They got a decent bit of mining. But I wonder, what could they do with the construction factories? They could technically build more construction factories. They could build more mines. I'm actually a bit tempted to build at least one mine over here, and then maybe a construction factory. Of course, we will be bringing more factories as well here, and mines in due time, so it's not all bad, and there's plenty of available workers, so that's not something we need to worry about. The population cap is currently 1.2 million. That's not too bad either. Total population is only 0.9 million right now, but it's slowly growing at least. Now, of course, we don't have any of the transfer capacities there. This would help a lot in the loading and unloading things. Fuel reserves are now down to 30 million. So we desperately need the ship construction. Okay, we got another cargo ship. Oh, and the Royal Survey 1 has completed their... Yeah, they need to do a bit of an overhaul. And now we need to figure out who to give this one. I think, oh, you got 2. Did we just have, oh yeah, the cargo A1, you are still waiting here, so how about I start switching away some of your old ships here to newer ones. They will at least be more fuel efficient, if nothing else. Alright, so let me... Can I actually get this in a timely manner, so we can probably close the fleet ones right now to condense this a little bit. You probably don't need to be open right at this moment. Still a bit close call. I suppose I can drag you out there. That should give me the... Nope. Doesn't quite work the other way around. Okay, well, let's close a few more of these real quick. So it would be this one. And yeah, it doesn't increase the capacity that we can load or anything, but it doesn't even increase the speed. But the fuel efficiency does increase. So total, they'll be using a bit less fuel on a per trip basis. And I suppose... I'm going to take some mines from here. We've got quite a few. I'm going to load 5 mines. Transport these through Naval Ring and Mimung all the way to Skofnung. Yeah, well, we'll take it to Cressania Imperialis because there is still a decent bit of extra population there for production, so we'll unload all installations there. Should be able to get back as well. Naval Ring, Barracuda, and refuel. It does take quite a few months again, about 8 months. Right, but now we still have 1 extra cargo ship here, but I'm thinking of either scrapping that and then doing a new one, because the fuel efficiency is starting to be a slight problem. So yeah, I think I will scrap the... Actually, it should be one of the Mark IIs over here, although I'm not entirely sure which one. Was it that one? I think it was that one. Let me quickly check that. So if we have a look at the... Yeah, Mule Mark II 7. Okay, so that is indeed the one. I'll quickly scrap that. It doesn't take all that long. And we'll get some of the components back which we can use in rebuilding another one. And also some minerals back from scrapping the engines, for example. Because we don't have a massive amount of Gallica anymore. Stockpiles are still okay-ish, but those will run down soon. Also, how much maintenance supply points do we still have? It's gone down a little bit, but it's not going down all that quickly. Still getting a lot of terraforming installations. And still not gotten the first gas cow, unfortunately, but we will get that in due time. Then we'll send it probably on the gas giant in here. Although that's... Well, that's a little bit better. I believe there was a gas giant some... Oh, is it actually this one? Oh, that's pretty good. 0.9. Accessibility 700,000. I'll start getting a few of these around. Now, to be fair, it is up to the Gas Harvesters Guild and then sell the fuel... Oh, another double click. God damn it. So don't repair that, that's going to be the death of me. Right, so the Zhatelier 1 has completed their overhaul, so you can move back through Ekasax to Thunthien. You've been there for a while, but it's a long trip to get there. Which is a problem, admittedly. Overhaul in Barracuda on... Oh, right, the Sea Survey 1. You've done your things now, so you can go back to Nagelring. And hold on, you've been in Ravenna, haven't you? So Mimung, Skofnung, and Ravenna. Let's see if there's actually is there. Yeah, there's still some survey locations at least that we need to go through. Civilian construction, a new colony ship. Okay, that's fine by me. Okay, ship refit 2 new Hornets. We still got some Hornets being made, don't we? Actually, well, one is being refitted, but actually, what I could do, refit from Hornet Mark 3 to Squire Hornet, and it needs to be the Hornet number 2. It doesn't cost a lot, so we'll refit that so the Hand of the King will get their Corvette soon enough. Oh, and we got the first gas cow at least. Assigned to space stations. The Tug is not here, unfortunately. It's currently going through Nagelring to get the civilian or the commercial engine jump capable ship. So it is a bit occupied. We should get it done soon enough. Civilian construction, another colony ship. Alright then. And fuel in... oh. B Survey 1. Oh yeah. It's almost refueling. What is not possible? Right. So you probably need to do your... overhaul now. Yep. 13 months, so you are a bit over time. That should be manageable still. Oh, they started doing the overhaul automatically. Ignoring my orders and doing their own orders. Fair enough. Right, so... oh, right. B... so the B Survey 2 has now completed that. So you can resupply. I think I'm going to send you through Blutgang and Radia back to Shamshir. And didn't we go through the... yeah, we got to Kusanagi again. A bit of a long distance. It should be alright though. Ship scrapped, there we go. So we got a little bit of the resources back. Especially these, I will just scrap the components. The others we can still kind of use. So what I will do is... oh right, yeah, actually, I need to get another... oh, there's 2 space station fleets now. Okay. Is there no shipyard fleet then? Apparently not. We'll build a cargo fleet then. And we'll build a Workhorse Mark II. We'll use the components that we can. It's not going to be a lot. But it is going to be a few things at least. So yeah, we got 2 space stations there. Let's see, which one of them has the gas cow? You got the gas cow. And then you got the gatekeepers. Alright then. Sure, we'll go with that. We just need to talk to actually get the gas cow into use. But then we'll at least have a little bit extra income of fuel. Of course, one of those gas cows currently just produces 400,000 litres of fuel per year. So, not a huge increase, but it will be increase. Oh, well, now that we got the fuel production increase, it's going to be 480,000. But yeah, that is actually a good improvement there. We are going to get the shipyard operations time and cost saving now, because we are going to have to be doing a fair bit of things with our shipyards within the close proximity in terms of time. Alright, let's actually have a look at the research now. Is there still... we're going to get something in January. That's a fire control speed rating, 3,000 kilometers per second. And then fuel is going to be done in November. Oh, that's still quite far away. So from, well, that's actually a few years away. Railgun launch velocity is going to be done next year. So that's good. Assuming that the researcher doesn't die. Now that I did say that, it's probably going to be happening, but oh well. Now then, there's still... actually the... how close are we getting the refitting in here? It's going to be done in November, so there's like 1 build cycle away, more or less. Maybe 2. Okay, E-Survey 1, you've done your overhaul. Not A-Survey, B-Survey 1. Actually, no. Oh no, it was A-Survey 1. Okay, so you... I believe you've been on the... did you do your... yeah, you did your overhaul. So, let's go back through Nagelring. Nageling. Then you can go back to fronting. Because that is where you were before. Right, ship refit, so the Hornet has now been refitted. Let's have a quick look. How is the colonies doing over here? So Caldera, you have got on one maintenance facility now. It can't quite maintain full capacity. And the manufacturing is there? It just worker shortage, okay. Population hasn't been increasing quite enough. But yeah, what about Odin? The protection required hasn't increased too much yet. And I believe we still haven't gotten the terraforming installation, which means that we are not actually terraforming at all, presumably. But once we get the oxygen levels, we'll then put in safe greenhouse gases, and we can make this into actually quite livable planet. At that point, the max population of 17 billion is going to be quite handy. Now, Chrysenia Imperialis, you do have quite a bit of available workers, so the fact that we are bringing more mines is probably going to be just fine. Also over here, right, they produce at least some resources, just not great accessibilities other than uranium there. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are required here. It'll take some time before we get all of that going, but that's fine. And then moving over here, we have brought in new mines, haven't we? No, we actually haven't. We only got the 5 mines, which, to be fair, they produce a decent bit of resources. Even with the fact that it's just 4 different resources. But yeah, Neutronium, Tritanium, Boronite, and Mercasium are all relatively important. Tritanium not so much for us because we won't be using any missiles in this playthrough. Well, not for warfare anyway. And St. Petersburg now has a little bit of population. They got their automated mine here. Yeah, they'll get a little bit of minerals there. Uranium is actually going to be... Oh, right, they don't get Mercasium, so they can't produce infrastructure. Right, well I suppose from Mimung we could potentially transport some of that in due time once we get enough. Well, we've got 130 already available. It's not a lot to be fair, but yeah, we could probably bring in some resources over here to allow them to start getting some infrastructure produced locally. Because the transport distance starts to get pretty high on here, so it takes a long while to get anything here. Unfortunately, we are out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description, but other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.